Hello everybody, welcome to the Empressive channel. Now the numbers for Cardi B's album Am I the Drama dropped, and it said that she actually sold 200,000 units in its first week with 88,000 pure sales. And I have to say these numbers are very good. I mean, it's very hard for artists to get these type of numbers in this climate, especially female rappers. The only female rapper who's getting numbers like this easily is Nicki Minaj, but the other ones have to work, and Cardi is one of them. Cardi had to work. Now, she did very well. She had some good songs on her album, but it took her a lot of effort to get those sales. I mean, she was promoting her album everywhere, doing album signings, meet and greets. She was on the side of the street, barefoot and pregnant, selling her album. She discounted her album to $4.99 and her singles to 69 cents. She had all these different variations of her album for sale. In fact, she added old songs, some dating far back to 2019, to put on her album. So there was a lot of strings that were pulled just so she could crack that 200K. And chart data actually revealed that she really sold 199.6 thousand. But Cardi and her team made sure that she reached that 200K. And that's why Billboard delayed their announcement on Sunday. And even with all this effort, I don't think the victory feels as sweet for Cardi, because a lot of us know that she and her team were really trying to beat Nicki Minaj's Pink Friday 2 numbers. That's what this was really about. Pink Friday 2 did 228,000 units in its first week and had 92,000 pure sales. Not to mention, Billboard actually took away 100,000 of her sales because she ran a contest that required her fans to buy her album, and Billboard said that was against the rules. But if Billboard did not filter out those sales, she would have sold well over 300,000 in the first week. But even still, her album did very well, especially in today's climate. And I think Cardi and her fans were hoping to beat Pink Friday 2's numbers, and Cardi was boasting about how she was going to outsell. In fact, when the early projections came out for her album, she said, "Don't listen to them, y'all. Trust, they'll cry the loudest next week. We are doing so amazing, and I'm proud of y'all. Keep buying, keep streaming. We got this." And she also said, "Barty Gang, bookmark them tweets." Also, her friend Kim Barbie said, "Baby, they haven't even counted. Sunday, though." So they were really kind of pushing this idea that Cardi was going to outsell and beat Nicki's record.
Y'all don't even want me to drop that album because y'all gonna be fucking crying. Crying. Because I'm gonna outsell. I'm gonna outsell. I'm gonna have hits. I'm gonna be on top. That's a fact.
So Cardi was very confident, and I think the goal was to beat Nicki's numbers so she could use it as bragging rights. And it seemed like the media was already celebrating the idea of Cardi beating Nicki. A lot of Cardi's fans were bragging about it. Cardi was bragging about it. There was some sneak dissing going on. There was a lot of baiting going on. Cardi even worked with Nicki's former artist Lourdes as a way to bait her, I think. But Nicki didn't really start getting active until Tracking Week ended. Now, Nicki did announce that she's dropping a new album next year on March 27th. But as soon as Tracking Week ended and the numbers came in for Cardi's album, that's when Nicki decided to rub it in. She was like, "Aha, you thought you were going to outsell me." And she was reposting her stats and everything like that. But things took a very messy turn. Cardi was tight. She said, "You must have missed me, huh, crazy? Now kiss my feet. Nothing more annoying than a bored bee." Nicki responded and said, "To every enabler, never provoke a writer while they're writing. You joined the game as a willing participant. Don't try to back out now." 3/27/26. That's her album date. Hashtag rock bottom nation. Hashtag rock inflation. Hashtag Rico Nation. You failed. Let the reindeer games begin. We win again. Now, Nicki brought up Rock Nation again because the head of Rock Nation, Jay-Z, cleared a sample for Cardi's song Imaginary Players. And also, it seems like Jay-Z and his federal informant partner, Desiree Perez, were doing some business with Cardi. Oh, yes. Cardi was in a meeting with Rock Nation last week, and it seems like they were up to their old tricks. You know how Rock Nation got behind Kendrick Lamar when he was going at Drake? They wanted a repeat of that. They can't use their artist Megan Thee Stallion, so they're running behind Cardi now. The thing is, Cardi wasn't able to get the job done and outsell Nicki. So now Nicki gets a chance to gloat, and it's becoming a problem. Cardi did respond to Nicki and said, "The power I have. Make these bees come out of rehab every time. Go to your effing room." Now, Nicki started throwing shade at Cardi's raps. Cardi has a song called Magnet, and in her lyrics, she said, "A, B, C, D, E, F, G, these bees can't F with me." That was an elementary school rhyme, and Nicki poked fun at that. She called her Barney B, and she said, "A, B, C, D, E, F, G, rap like Barney, still ugly." And Cardi called her Cocaine Barbie, and Nicki said, "A, B, C, D, E, F, G, heavy tongue. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, surgery to look like me. Tell the rat and tell Jay-Z. Rico fraud and perjury." Ooh. She also said, "A, B, C, D, E, F, G, pregnant, play with his bussy." So she's referring to Cardi's soon-to-be baby daddy, Stephon Diggs. And I do want to talk a little bit about that because Cardi was making fun of JT's man Uzi and saying how JT has to stick a dildo up Uzi. But allegedly, that's what Stephon is actually into. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But Cardi did say, "A, B, C, D, E, F, G, your man have to snatch a C. P tastes like honeycomb. Yo bro be touching 12-year-olds. Oof. So she was bringing up Nicki's family. Nicki said, "A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Lied and said mom was Trini." And Cardi posted this meme of Nicki's brother wearing a pink wig. And Nicki posted a meme of Jay-Z wearing a pink wig crying over losing his casino bid. And also a meme of Cardi dressed like Barney. And Nicki also said, "Raw dogging pregnant with the fourth baby. Barney B, BV, HPV, allegedly." Wow. And Cardi said, "All right, now this is the third tweet talking about my pregnancy. Like you wasn't going to different fertility doctors because you couldn't reproduce from all them perks scrambling your eggs. Not allegedly. Lord protect my babies." Cardi was going to hell with it. I mean, Nicki was going low, but Cardi was going straight to hell. Now, I do hope she has the receipts to back up her claims. And also, I do find it interesting how she's speaking on other women's wombs. She was even talking about JT getting abortions. And I want to get into that. Since we're on this topic, I do want to get into her whole beef with JT because she did drag JT in her song Magnet. And for those who don't know, their feud really stemmed from their spat on Twitter a few years ago. JT congratulated Glorilla over her Tomorrow 2 song, and Cardi felt a way that JT did not mention her because she was featured on the song too. So Cardi called her a lapdog, and it incited this whole Twitter war between them. And since then, JT did take a few shots at Cardi on her City Cinderella EP, and Cardi dragged JT on her song Magnet, and these are the bars that Cardi came up with.
Bitch, bring the baby ass bitch, run away, dirty foot ass bitch, backdooring ass bitch, hit on your friend ass bitch. See her going through it, you see her going through it in life, and put her on blast on social media ass bitch. You a hating ass bitch, ungrateful ass bitch.
That's all right. Take your time. Sound it out. Sound it out. That's some of what Cardi said. And she also said her man cheats, but at least she doesn't have to stick a dildo in him. So basically, she was implying that Lil Uzi was gay or bi. And JT went off. She said, "You talking about my man's sexuality? Well, let's talk about your man, Stephon Diggs." And she highlighted this interview that Stephon's former stylist, Chris Blake Griffin, did with Tasha K. And Chris alleged that Stephon drugged him and tried to SA him and have him unalived.
He attempted to have me unalived because of him making a sexual pass at me. It wasn't the sexual pass that frustrated me the most. What made me most frustrated was the fact that he tried to unalive me after it, when in reality, even though I was drugged, even though I was violated, I never thought that the next step would be my life being threatened because you got turned down.
This story is crazy. And to be honest, I don't think Chris is lying about it. He did file a police report about it. So yeah, it's a crazy story. And Cardi looks dumb trying to talk about somebody else's man when her new man has all these skeletons in his closet.
That man does drugs. He does drugs. He does drugs.
Now, Cardi exposed these text messages, I believe, that were between JT and Lil Uzi. And then she said Lil Uzi makes JT get abortions. And she also claims that she has an audio of Uzi talking about his ex-girlfriend Brit. And also she brought up Rock Nation. She said, and don't let me say what he was saying about Rock Nation, just ungrateful. The minute she brought up Rock Nation, that's when I knew, okay, this is some Fed stuff. When a person is doing business with a federal informant, it's not too far-fetched to believe that maybe they're getting fed information. I'm just saying. But Cardi claims that she has all types of receipts on people, and she even alluded to having JT's nudes. Where could she have gotten that from?
And I got receipts for days. Nasty ones. I even got ashy nudes. I got receipts on everybody. Even when I diss, I got receipts on people. I have bitches crying.
In response, JT dragged Cardi on Twitter. I'm not going to get into all her tweets, but it was messy. And she also said this on Snapchat.
This rat ass bitch, right? This bitch, this bitch supposed to be a motherfucking brim, and she threatening to snitch on some motherfucking body because she don't have anything to say about a bitch. That hoe is a loser. So then she said, I'm going to tell everybody nation what you said, what he said. No, not just that. The bitch trying to spread fake tea about abortions when she stood her illiterate ass in front of millions of people and said she stand for pro-choice. Drops bomb. I can't take the dumb serious. Typing those motherfucking messages, or I'm calling the police on your ass for defamation of character because I'm sick of it, ho. And I will be back. And I'm never getting off your ass. Not this bitch on live saying she got my news. Revenge porn? Weird ass bitch. You got my news. Everybody got your news in they motherfucking phone. I bet it ain't no glass object up my pussy. I bet it ain't a room full of niggas and bitches. Get your crazy ass on, fucking stripper. Talk about somebody fucking news.
Now, JT was in the studio, so she definitely has a diss record coming for Cardi B. I think a lot of girls are going to start responding to Cardi because Cardi not only shaded JT, but she shaded Bia, she shaded Ice Spice, she even shaded Nicki Minaj. So Cardi got to be ready for them lashings because they are coming. Now, let's talk about this Cardi and Ice Spice situation. So recently there was an audio that was leaked of Cardi B threatening to beat up Ice Spice. Cardi and Ice Spice have had some tension, but things really kicked up a notch when they were throwing subs at each other. Cardi threw a sub at Ice Spice in the remix to Wannabe, and Ice Spice threw subs at her in her song BB Belt, and she said Cardi was built like an ant and she's taking spots. And Cardi responded in her song Magnet and called her a slow face B. So they're at odds right now, but Cardi was going off on Ice Spice in this leaked audio. She even threw Latto under the bus.
Now you're about to get You know what the he said, nigga? I'm gonna tell you. Y'all wanna fucking play in my face? I'ma beat the shit out of her. I'm not like none of these rap bitches. Talk to Ice Spice, let her know she has an issue. Now, I issue. She have an issue. She don't get beat.
This is how crazy Cardi talks behind the scenes. I mean, I wonder what Latto feels about it because, man, she threw Latto under the bus. And Latto and Cardi are supposed to be cool. I mean, they just did a song together, but this is kind of how she's talking about Latto. But JT did react to this on her Snapchat. She said, "This is really sad how people speak on people behind the scenes. This scary. I wonder what triggered this. The Latto stray, but went getting a verse from that girl. But I'm fake. Whoa. And keep saying the N-word." Yeah, Cardi was dropping a lot of N-bombs, and that was very uncomfortable to hear. But Ice Spice decided to enter the chat, and she teased a diss record called Pretty Privilege. That title alone seems like it could be shady. But yeah, the girls are fighting. The girls are fighting. And it's very amusing to hear how pressed Ice Spice has Cardi B. Who knew that Ice Spice had Cardi riled up like that? But I want to end this off getting back to Cardi and Nicki. So Cardi seemingly threw in the towel and she basically said that she's not Nicki's peer. When Nicki said this, ABCDEFG falling off the charts with a big belly, running trains, barefoot, still smelly, still you could not outsell me. Cardi said, "Why you keep bringing up my album? It's not the gag you think it is. You've been in the game like 16 years. You need to compare yourself to your peers that started around your time. Rihanna, Taylor Swift, Drake, those are the numbers you need to be competing with, and you can't because you're doing lower than all of them. I was in high school when you came out. What the F is you comparing yourself to me for?" See, this whole dig doesn't hit because Cardi was ready for the comparison. She said that she was coming to outsell Nicki. You know, she wanted to outsell her. So now that she couldn't do it, now she's trying to say, well, why are you comparing yourself to me? You're not even my peer. You should be competing with Taylor and Drake. Listen, Nicki is pulling the same numbers as some of these big pop acts. I mean, look at Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande's last projects. They had similar first week sales too. So if you want to compare Nicki to the pop acts, then yeah, she could definitely pull her own weight. But when we're talking about the conversation of female rap, we do understand that Cardi and Nicki are considered peers and they will be compared with each other. But truthfully, Nicki is number one in the genre and she solidified that position, period. But anyway, tell me what you all think about this video down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you care. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.